Hi guys, how's it going today? So today I am participating in a holiday cookie collaboration with Two Family Homestead. If you guys don't know who they are, I'll leave the link down below and make sure you guys check them out. So today, for the cookie collaboration, I'm going to make turtle bars. Oh my gosh, they are so good and so easy. I can't wait to show you guys. I hope you all try them because, man, I could eat the whole pan. So let's go look at the ingredients real fast. This recipe, what you're going to need is 1.5 cups of brown sugar, 1.5 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of milk, 1.5 cups of quick oats, 1 cup of melted butter, 50 caramel candies that are already unwrapped, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, as much pecans as you like. This is a little over 1/2 cup. And you're only going to need about 6 ounces of chocolate chips, so 1/2 bag of chocolate chips. Okay, so you're also going to need a pot, a mixing bowl, and a 9x13. This one is already greased up. So I have my oven set to 350, and let's get started on this recipe. Alright guys, to get started, you want to start with preheating your oven to 350 degrees. Make sure that is all ready and set to go, because this recipe doesn't take long. So what you want to do is add your oats, 1.5 cups of oats, with your brown sugar, which is 1.5 cups, and your baking soda, which is only 1/2 teaspoon, your flour, which is 1.5 cups, and your 1 cup of melted butter. And what we're going to do is we're just going to mix this all up until it gets all crumbly. Alright, so this is all very crumbly. As you can see, everything's all mixed in really good. The liquid is dispersed evenly throughout the mixture, which is the butter. So I'm going to go get my 9x13 cookie sheet that I already have pre-greased. And I'm just going to pour about half of the amount of this mixture into here. We'll start with half. And we're just going to press it in to the bottom of the pan fairly thinly. But you want it to cover, because this is going to be the base of our bars. So make sure you get it covered. I might have to use a little bit more. Put a little more over here. This is a little bit thinner. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this in the oven, in my 350 degree oven, and I'm going to let it bake for 10 minutes. I'm setting the timer for 10 minutes. Okay, while the base is baking, what I'm going to do is going to start my stove top. Now I'm going to put it on medium heat. I'm going to go ahead and pour all the caramel candies. There's about 50 caramel candies that I had to unwrap for this recipe. That's the hardest part of the recipe, is unwrapping the candy. And then I'm going to add the 1/2 cup of milk to this. And I'm just gonna stir it up and heat it up until it's all melted. That's it. You just want it to be nice and melted. And that might take a while. So I'll be right back when I get it close to being melted. Alright, so the caramel is just about completely melted. Yeah, it looks really nice and smooth. I'm not seeing any more chunks. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it off the heat. The base of the bars should be done in just a minute. And when those go off, I will come get you and show you what I do next. Alright, so the remainder of the topping that I had, I just added my pecans into it and I mixed it all up. This is going to end up being like the crumble topping on top of the bars. So, yeah, I just threw in the rest of all those pecans that I had chopped up and mixed them all up. And that's what it looks like. Alright, so the timer went off and I'm going to go ahead and grab my cookie base. There you are. And while it's still hot, what you want to do is sprinkle at least half the bag of chocolate chips evenly onto the base. Okay, so that's about half the bag. After you sprinkle the chocolate chips on, you're going to take your caramel that you have melted and you're going to pour it on top. On top of the chocolate chips. Alright, so the caramel is on top of the chocolate chips. And then after that, you're just going to want to get the mixture. Remember, I put in the pecans, and you're just going to cover the top. Kind of sprinkle it on. Don't forget this this pan is still very hot, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to stick it back in the oven at 350 degrees. And I'm going to bake it for 15 minutes. When this is done baking, after 15 minutes, I'll be right back and show you what I do next. Alright guys, so it just got done baking for 15 minutes. I'm going to let this cool down a little bit on its own and probably stick it in the refrigerator to cool down a bit, and then I'll cut it up and let one of my sons taste it and see what he thinks. Alright guys, so the bars are done. They're not fully cooled, so I cut one out for Devin so it's still a little warm. But they're in the fridge cooling off now, so he's going to give it a shot and see what he thinks of my turtle bars.
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Good enough to eat?
Yeah. That's good.
Alright, so once they cool off and stuff, they'll be easier to cut, and you can actually cut them into bars.
Pretty gooey.
Because they're warm, they're a little bit gooey. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.